Hello and Merry Christmas! Welcome! I am Flat Cap Callum and these are horse racing selections for what are we on? Tuesday. It's Boxing Day, the 26th of December. I am hoping you are all very well. Just in case anyone was concerned, I haven't been on the sherry today. Very small glass of red wine. I had to drive at some point this evening, so yes, you're fine. I'm of sound mind and body recording this video. It's Christmas, probably an excess of food has been consumed, but from a drink point of view, we're sound. We're all right. I thought I'd get the video done tonight, as you'll probably watch it in the morning, but some will watch it tonight. Get the video out because I'm all good to go, and I'm going to start off with an apologies because I've been bigging up this big week, trailing it for ages, and last video I said I'll be almost guaranteeing you a double stake. I am not feeling Boxing Day racing. I know there is a lot of racing, but there is not a lot of big field sizes, and I'm not seeing a lot of value. I think the bookies have broadly got it right. I think there's a lot of smaller fields, and I'm expecting it to be a lot of short price horses. I don't see many double figure price horses getting over the line on Boxing Day. 11 meetings. So all I've got is a £19 stake. So I'm £1 short of a standard day. When I was selling, I was going to be doing a double stake. Now, fine, keep the £21 in your pocket. We'll be using it later in the week, I'm sure. But £19, I've got 3 bets. I think it's 11 horses in 10 races, which consists of a win double bet. And I've got an each way Canadian and an each way Yankee as the main bet. That is the extent. I mean, I was thinking I'm going to need the night and be ready in the morning to go, and I thought, you know what, it's there. I've kind of cut a few bits and bobs out. I've got what I've got. I'm just going to make the vid and do it. So then avoid doing a video in the morning when the prices are moving about a little bit. And the price I have got, they're not. No, that's not entirely true. I was going to say they're not massive. That is not entirely true. There's one particular race that I'm quite keen on, the big field handicap at Leopardstown from a value perspective. All day long, that looks like the best race. I really can see some bigger prices making in the frame. It's a novice handicap, which helps. So I've got a couple of biggies in that one. So in the total, I'm let's be clear, I've got 11 horses, but I have got 100 to 1, a 66 to 1 and a 50 to 1 to go with a couple of 25s and 20s and whatnot. So all right, fair enough. They're reasonable prices. Okay, what I've got to do, I've got to hope everybody had a nice Christmas day. I know, you can make a massive assumption that people are all having a lovely day with the family, and that's not how it works for everybody, and I appreciate that. Some people are quite happy just having it on their own, and some people, through no fault of their own, end up having a quieter Christmas. So, I hope everybody's managed to get through the day, whether you enjoy it, whether you're not enjoying it, and now you can have a Flat Cap Callum video to finish off your Christmas Day evening, save you from watching the end of Forrest Gump or whatever you've been doing. And we'll get cracking with this week. So we've got to do the review, and I think that's it. So we're doing the review of Saturday, and then we'll get into this day, and I think that is it. I think that's it. I think that's all we've got to do. There's no extras. So review of Sunday. Saturday. Just literally, you get the Christmas holidays, and then it's like days of the week are out the window, aren't they? Right. So today is still Monday. So last time we did a video was Saturday. It was £10. That was all we did in the end, and I got £1.36 back, which, to be fair, wasn't. It felt a little bit like we were a little bit hard done by in regards to Endeavour versus Return. So we had the win bet. Cap du Matin was poor. To be fair, as was all the Harry Cobden ridden Nichols horses on Saturday. I don't know if there was something a little bit awry going on there, but none of them ran well. It wasn't completely all Nichols horses. But Harry Cobden didn't ride very well. So I'm not saying I'm be clear. He did not. I'm not saying he didn't ride well. None of the horses performed to market expectations. Would be a true statement. So yeah, that was a duffer. It pulled up, I think, early doors. Paisley Park, what an absolute trooper! Great finish, but unfortunately Crambo got there in the end. So we lost out on that, and that cost us. That would have been a profitable day if Paisley Park had managed to stay in front. Netty well, I said that would go off. Well, I didn't say go off nearly even money. I thought it would be. It should be nearly even money. It won quite well at a much shorter price, but it didn't count for anything as far as the bet goes because we missed out on Paisley Park. So no return on bet one. And then the other bet we did was this one to Paisley Park place, but very close to winning. In this race, we had Switch Hitter won out the placings, which would well, I say won out the place about 4 or 5 bookies. That would have been. And then in the last, Lucia was a nice winner. So we only ended up having one place double, Paisley Park and Lucia. But yeah, again, if Paisley Park had won, we'd have had a double on bet one and a double on bet two. If Switch Hitter had placed into fourth, we'd have had each way doubles and trebles. Wasn't to be. So we finished the week, I think it was 90, I want to say 96 to the good. I think 96 to the good and 88 up for the month, I think is where we are. So 96 to good. I think it actually worked out from a profit point of view. I think it was the 5th best week of the year. We had a lot more than five better weeks than that last year, but yeah, we'll absolutely take it. So that was 5th best from a physical monies point of view, but also from a profit percentage point of view as well. So decent week we had there with one particularly nice day. But noting that not everybody would have got the same return because it would depend on when you put the bets on, because we had a lot of price shrinkage. But yeah, we played on Saturday. We played in five races and managed to get 2 winners and a very, very close second. And on Friday, I think we had 2 duffers on the jumps, but we ended up with 8 all-weather races, and we managed to get 4 winners out of that. So from a win perspective, Friday, Saturday was particularly good. Those who have been following a long time, I'll always say, and you know, the win percentage, I'm not chasing a win percentage, I'm chasing a place percentage, and I try and keep the place percentage consistent irrespective of the price point. And that's part of the magic I'm trying to hit here. So you can try and hit lovely place percentages by backing 5 and 6 to 1 shots all day through it long, but I'm trying to hit things at much bigger prices, so overall get value across the board. That's what we try and do. But we walk into this final week of the year. I said I think it's 88 up for the month. So it'd be nice to finish up for the month, because that would mean we'd have been up 6 and down 6 and overall in a reasonable profit. We're not at the dizzy heights of last year's profit, but as I said at the end of last year, it felt like an above average year from a profit and loss point of view. We've struggled this year, but we're basically where I think we should be. Broadly speaking, I'll do a bit of a review at the end of the year, but yeah, broadly speaking, in terms of the sort of knocking around the 17-18% profit mark, I'm happy enough with that. And certainly for the types of bets I put out and the volume of bets I put out, because a lot of Strudy type folks will tell you that you can't make a profit betting the amount of horses I do and bet them all in multiples. But I think I do a decent enough job at proving people that you can actually do that if you do the right horses in the right bets. Okay, Boxing Day. Right, bet one. Oh yeah, I did bet. Weirdly, normally I do all the bets in chronological order. For some reason, I did the win bet separate. So the bet 2 is technically, chronologically speaking, the first bet, but bet 1 is the win bet. So I've just got 2. It's the Glory bet. I'm sure there's other horses running called Glory, and it's just complete coincidence that these 2 have the name Glory. I mean, if you want to, some people love believing just pick stuff on names. That'd be good, wouldn't it? But yeah, these 2 I think should be reasonably shorter. 105 Aintree, Farron Glory. That I think that definitely should be the outright favourite. The 133 Limerick is a bit of a muddly race from a form point of view. Search for Glory is 100% the best horse with form in the book. So if something is more progressive than it, because it's sort of shown, I'd say it's rough where its mark is, there could be something that's better than it that improves beyond what it's done before. But on form that's been shown, Search for Glory should be the favourite, but won't be the favourite necessarily because other horses are more progressive. But I think it's worth trying a luck for the double there. So Farron Glory free, search for a Glory 11-4, £1 win double. You want a bog bookie that will pay you the best price guaranteed on those. I think that will be shorter. It wouldn't surprise me if that got bigger. But I'm happy to take it 11-4. I think my perceived value is that's good value. But as I said, I think from an actual betting market value, it wouldn't surprise me if it drifted. £1 win double, that is that. And then bet 2 is the Canadian. So here's what we've got. And by the way, I got nothing at Kempton. So King George meeting, I couldn't find an angle, anything I particularly wanted. I spent quite a bit of time going over that King George race, which I think is a really interesting race. But from a betting perspective, I wasn't happy enough with any angle on that. So I've left it. There was marginal value in some bits, but not something I'm happy enough for the channel. So we're starting early doors on this 11:40 Down Royal. I thought I was missing out anything early, and I did Down Royal last and found that one. Annabeg at 17-2. Easy should be half that price. It's shown one bit of really, really good form at Down Royal, but last time out it was less good in terms of kind of the quality of the performance. I think it was second, but it didn't seem to be. If you judged it on its first run at Down Royal, you'd expected it to have won that race second time out. Point to point form's really, really good. So the only thing I'm a little bit niggly about is it's slightly dropping back down in distance, but it's got Down Royal form, and its point form is it would have it up there with the odds on favourite. The odds on favourite's been bought for a lot of money, and therefore suggestion is it's more progressive. But I think there's value in that price for Annabeg, 17-2. So then 12:48 Down Royal, Bolting Glass Hill 9-1. I've been over that race quite a few times, and I got it down to 2, and then I was looking at split legging, and I was like, no, I think I'm just gonna lean on Bolting Glass Hill at 9s. I think. It felt like the right call in that race, but there's not huge value in there. I wouldn't be backing it 13-2. So I don't. From a market perspective, I'm not sure quite what will happen on that one. But and a watch out on that 12:48 as well. There's not all bookies have gone 5. I think it's 20 odd runners, but not all bookies are 5. So definitely worth having a look around. Make sure you're getting a bookie paying 5 places. Then the 105 at Aintree. So I've got Farron Glory in the win bet, and I've got Making Headway from a place point of view. There's a couple of bookies, namely 888 and Hills, paying 4, but those two are not paying 5 there. So that makes it a little bit tricky. But I think I'd rather have the 4th place there than the 5th place there, if that makes sense. So I would slightly edge Hills and 888 on that way round, because I think the 4th place might be more closer to that horse than the 5th place is for that horse. It's not a precise science, is it? Clearly, but that is what I would say. Making Headway, I had that down at about 10 or 11. So I think 22s is a very, very big price for that horse. And then we've got the 145 Leopardstown. So this is the race I've mentioned. I've got a couple in, and my slight second choice on value is Z-Band. But both horses have got a similar-ish profile, and they were both pretty decent enough flat horses that haven't yet converted over jumps. But I think they're worth chancing. So Z-Band is where we're going to go at that one at 66s. And then the 150 Wolves. I mean, it's a Wolverhampton race. 11 runners. There's not a lot of bookies paying extra places on that race, and it's a 2-year-old nursery, and that's just none of those things are kind of shouting. That's my kind of thing. But Free as a Bird, I think that horse, if you look at the breeding of the horse, should be so much better than what it's shown. It's dropping back to 5 furlongs. It's only ever done 6. Most of the family were better at 6, but if you look at its races, it's running. It's just coming up a little bit short and fading at the end. So I think it's definitely worth trying dropping it back to 5. I thought 25 is a very big price for that horse, but you're taking it a little bit on faith from a breeding perspective, but that it should be an absolute ton better than what it's shown. It might just be it's a sibling that's got less ability. but the family started off as young horses, 2-year-olds. So yeah, I think that's worth taking a chance with. So that's 10p each way Canadian or each way Super Yankees. That's $5.20 for that bit. 250p win singles on the top two, the shorter prices, and then 350p each way singles on the next three. 9.20 is the bet. Overall, Sky will be best to put this bet on with, and then 365 or Paddy are second best. And then the others are kind of a muchness, but as mentioned, I'd probably edge Hills and 888 just. Although the place terms will work out the same, I think the fourth for that more useful than the fifth for that. That is it. 9.20. That is bet 2. And then bet 3, sort of the main bet really, is this. 145. So my slight lean in that Leopardstown race, I'm going with the PJ Rothwell horse, Sideria, he says. Same gig as Zeoband. It was a much better flat horse. And those of you who've been watching and paying attention the last few weeks, I've mentioned PJ Rothwell and watching his horses at big prices. And he's, certainly somebody from a profile point of view of a horse that was good on the flat, that's not done much in maidens, and then it hasn't run well in its first handicap. But we've got Simon Torrens back on the horse, who, in its best performance over jump so far, he was riding it. So he's proven to have ridden once well on the horse. You've also got first-time cheap pieces in there. And yeah, that horse is on a fairly lowly mark. I think it's 96 on jumps when it was rated in the 80s on the flat. And as much as, flat horses rated like that don't necessarily have to convert over to be decent jumps horses, it doesn't even have to jump very well. If it's got the same level of ability to what it's shown when it was trained by Dermot Weld, it should be a heck of a lot better than a marker 96. So 100 to 1 is absolutely worth chance on that. So that 145, you basically got the two outsiders in whatever it is, like a 21, 22 runner race or something like that. Then we've got 222 market Rasen. That horse's form's a little bit in and out, but it's already popped up once at a big price. Off a not too dissimilar handicap mark, so I think at 50s we'll try that one. Smart Connection. 257, I think we backed it last time. The Vollen, that was between a couple in that race. I quite like I think it's the Lincolnshire National race. But yeah, the Vollen's what we've gone for. I think the watch out on that one is place terms. You've got Paddy and Betfred, who are paying 4, but Betfred aren't paying 4 on that when more or less everybody else is, so a bit annoying. But we'll go the Vollen at 12s, and we'll finish off a late one as far as the schedule goes. 5:5 at Warhampton, Gypsy Whisper 22s. I think you'll ignore. Is that right? I think my memory says you'd be, because some of these I literally picked 24 hours ago. But I think memory says if you ignore last run, it's handicapped on a really competitive mark and should easily be half of that price. So 20p each way Yankee. We've got 50p each way singles on Sideria, Smart Connection and Gypsy Whisper. 50p win single on the Vollen at the shorter price. And then we're going to go with a chance in your arm 45p each way double on Sideria and Smart Connection, the two biggie prices. So 100 to 1 and 50 to 1 and a 45p each way extra double. 880 is the bet. Sky come out first, Paddy come out second, 365 come out third. 880 as I said. £19 total stake is what we've got for Boxing Day. I think that concludes. So yeah, I'll be back. It'll be evenings this week. So back whatever it is, it'll be evening of Boxing Day. So what, the evening of 26th for 27th. So so what we've got now, we've got 4 days of Leopardstown Limericks. I'm hoping I find a bit more than what I've got there. And we've got Kempton again, haven't we? I think Wetherby, and then Chepstow is the Welsh Grand National, which I'm a big fan of. We've got an anti-post bet as Truckers Lodge. We're hoping to get a bit of a run out of that one. If the ground goes good to soft, I think that's us toast. But yeah, as long as it's soft or heavy, Truckers Lodge, I think will run. If it gets good to soft, I'd be 50-50. Anything, if it goes anywhere near good ground, that horse will get pulled. So hopefully we'll get a run for our money and see how we get on with Truckers Lodge. As to whether I'd be tipping it for the Welsh National at the current prices, I don't think so. But I won't. You won't know until I get to tomorrow night's staking plan. But when I tipped it at 33s, I was happy with it. 14s. I haven't given the race enough research in its current format with the 22 declared runners to really give a view on that one. I would think it's probably priced fairly, is what my gut says. But until I've gone through it, I won't know. So that is that, and then the darts is not back till 27th. Although we've lost James Wade, we've still got Bunting, Doland and Clemons, who are still going, and all much shorter than the prices they were when we took them. So happy enough with that bet. We just have to sort of see how we get on. I think I structured it that one winner out of those and we make a tiny profit, and two I say winners, two of them get to the semi-final, then we made a nice enough profit off that. If miraculously we can get all three in the semi-finals, I'll be over the moon. Won't be like gigantic win, but it'll be a nice return if we manage to pull that off. Okay, that's me. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed and got through your Christmas day, however you choose to get through it. And I shall be back tomorrow night for second day of our bumper week where we have an extra vid. And that is me. Thank you very much. Bye bye.